Hello, guys. I hope you're doing well. I am your instructor for this course. My name is Dr. Nanette K. Hartley, but I prefer Nan. Um, I'm going to be showing you around the shell a little bit. Now, this may not be exactly your shell, but this is for my online courses, so all of those shells look the same. So we should be able to see everything that we need to see here. I'm going to go into this view as a student so that I will see this exactly as you do. And you'll see as you come in that there's a start here. Okay. First thing you want to click on is checklist, because this will provide you a list of things that you need to go and look at. Information about me, about how you contact me, a link to the introductory video. So this will be linked as soon as I'm done. The department syllabus, the syllabus addendum, the schedule, the lab manual, all of the resources that are available to you, the handouts that are available to you, your exam handouts, because you'll need those for each exam, and you need to have a printed copy of them because you are an online class. You need a printed copy with you. This is your ALEKS link, so that will take you to your homework, which is done in ALEKS, which is a product from McGraw-Hill. Within that, you will find that there is a textbook. Okay, you can access that textbook from within ALEKS. You'll be able to see all of your assignments within ALEKS, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. A basic tour of the site, you'll see that everything is organized by exams. There will be pre-lab quizzes for things that you need to, for in-person labs. Now, since you're not an in-person lab, that doesn't apply to you. There is a lab associated with this course, okay? For this class, those labs are done entirely online. Everything is done entirely online. There is no in-person component to this course. So I need to modify this because I thought that was in here, but apparently I pulled the wrong checklist. That's why. So I need to modify your lab thing. So I will modify that for you. Because it is an online lab. You will do everything in ALEKS, virtual labs in ALEKS and virtual labs. So I have some notes here of notes that I took when I did one of the labs, and that's what it looks like when I did this. I say that because you're allowed to use those notes on your quizzes. The post-lab quizzes that come after the experiments can be a little tough, but they're meant to be done with notes from the lab. So you should have notes about all the calculations that you did and how you did them. There is a lab guide, and there are video links so that you can see things that I did. I usually walk you through that experiment because I want to show you anything that I know is a problem. So there are certain places where things don't behave the way they're supposed to. Things don't go the way they're supposed to. So there's a walkthrough on those videos so that you can see where those things are and you can listen to how I talk about them. Hopefully that will help you. Those post labs are going to be quizzes that are in ALEKS, so you'll be able to do that there. Use your notes. Make sure you use your notes. And there are surveys for every experiment. So once you've completed that experiment, I want you to go and do the survey. We collect information about how you feel about those surveys so that we can make changes if we need to. I do not look at those surveys during the course of this semester. That is all stuff that we look at after the end of the class in bulk. So it's not like I'm looking to see how you did it or any of that. You get points for doing it, which is why there's a grade assignment that goes with it and why it's not an anonymous survey. But that's why. It's just to give you an incentive for actually doing them. You won't do them unless I give you an incentive to do so. You need to have done the lockdown browser and respondents monitor test, the acknowledgement activity, the scavenger hunt, and sign up for ALEKS. There's also the Flynn safety that you need to watch. Even though you're not in a physical lab, it is important that you understand what the safety components of a lab are. So we're expecting you to do this Flynn safety activity because that will talk to you about what the safety components are. And there is a safety video that is specific to the labs here. And again, even though you're not in a physical lab, we want you to watch that video and answer those questions so that you know what those parts about the lab are. So even though you didn't take a physical lab, there are things that you need to be taught about being in a physical lab. So that's that portion of that. So I'm going to cancel out this. Now, when you come in here to look at what's in your shell, you may not see a lot of stuff, okay? You may see a bunch of things, you may not. It looks like this one, I didn't actually hide it. So, but you may not see things. That's actually by design. You need to go and do the acknowledgement activity before you should be able to see any of these components. So these components right here, exam 1, exam 2, and exam 3, and the practice for the final will be hidden unless you've done that acknowledgement activity. So that needs to be done as one of your first assignments. Under assignments, what you will find here is where you upload your Flynn safety certificate. So once you've done it, there is a certificate they give you. You need to make the PDF out of that and upload that here. Again, even though you're not in our physical labs, you need to acknowledge the safety rules for our physical labs and turn that in here. There's a name and formulas paper lab that you'll have to turn in. So that gets turned in here. And there is a paper thing called post-lab stoichiometry. So the paper that goes with that needs to be turned in here. The answers will go into Alex, but I need to see the work for this so you can get partial credit. Here are all of your lab surveys. So there are links to all of those lab surveys there. And then there are places to turn in your scratch work. For the exams, if you do not turn in your scratch work, you cannot get partial credit. And I will not give you points for anything that says, yes or no, or which one of these, if I don't see scratch work. So no scratch work, no partial credit. You need to turn in your scratch work. That means I need to see how you've set up all of your calculations. Even though you're doing it on your calculator, I need to see how you set it up. Because it could be that you made a minor mistake in how you set that calculation up. And it gave you the completely wrong value. But I can give you most of the credit if I see the work that you did. But I can only do that if I can see your work. Okay, so all of those things should be recorded on your scratch paper. And that needs to get turned in to me right after you finish your test. If I don't have it, then I won't be able to use it to grade your test. Okay. Other things I want to show you. There are a couple of discussions for this particular course. So there is an introduction. I want you guys to explain yourselves to me a little bit. So there is an introduction. And then there's another discussion about AI and its usage. So I want you to talk about what is AI, how do you use it, where are places that you are using it, and how do you feel about it? Okay. So that's what that is about. I use this to then generate a document that says these are acceptable uses for AI within the course. Okay. So that needs to be done early this week. There are some quizzes that you will need to take. Again, that acknowledgement activity, it's not really a quiz, but it's here. Scavenger hunt, not really a quiz, but it's here. The safety quiz, that is a quiz, and you do have to take it. There's a video you'll have to watch to do that. The lockdown browser test, you have to do this because I need to know if you're having problems with the lockdown browser before you need it. So that has to be done. Then you'll see all of your exams are going to be here. So exams 1, 2, 3, and the final will be here. So when it's time for those exams, they will open and you'll be able to get to them from here. Okay. Again, your exams will be 2 hours, time enforced. You are expected to have those exam handouts because if you don't have them, you're not going to do well. So you need to get used to using them. And so what I recommend to my students is that they print out the exam handouts and they do their homework with it. That way you know where those values are. So when you get to the test, you're not looking everywhere. That is a very big document. I think it's 12 pages. So make sure that you know where things are. Not everything will apply to this half of chemistry. Some of it is there for the second part of this course, but that's, there are things everywhere and there's lots of information that you can use. You'll be able to see your grades here. So obviously I will only see my own grades. There aren't a lot of things in here, but you'll be able to see the distribution. So your homework is 20%. Your labs are 12.5%. Your post labs are 7.5%. Your discussion is 5%. Classroom tests are 35%. And the final exam is 20%. I need to move that. So there's that. Other things that I wanted to talk about. You can find me in the class list. There are other students that you may talk to in this class list. One other thing, so this is your instructor, that's me. You can email me directly from here, and this will go directly to my other email. The other thing I wanted to point out is counseling services. Now, you may not really know what counseling services is. Counseling services handles all of our accommodations. So if you feel like you need more time, or you need a quiet environment, or you need specific things from me, that all goes through counseling services. And there are other things that counseling services can do for you. Okay, so I have referred students to counseling services when they're having problems during the semester. So if they're in crisis and they think they're going to get kicked out of their apartment, you want to talk to counseling services. Not only because there's mental health issues that go with that and they can help you with that, but also because there are financial things that we may be able to direct you to so that does not happen. Okay, so if there's anything that comes up like that, computer blows up in the middle of the semester, something like that, and you need a new computer, that's another thing that you would want to talk to them about. If you're having any kind of problem at all with your mental health, please reach out to counseling services. If you're having problems managing the workload and trying to figure out how to do that, you have this job and you have this family and you have all the things that you're being asked to do, reach out to them, see if they can help, because there are some things that they can do to assist you. So don't be afraid of counseling services. And this, if you click this goes directly to them and they will reach out to you. Okay, so there is that. Your surveys are under more. There's not a ton of other stuff under more that you really need, although the calendar for the course is here. And so any due dates should appear on this calendar. So the first date that we have stuff due this term is the very end of this first week. And you'll see that there's a bunch of little things down here because things end and they're due. So that tells you that there's stuff that is due. Make sure you look down there because that's what time it's due. Other things. I don't think so. So there's that. Now, one more thing I want to talk about. This term, and the term that I'm talking about is spring of 2026. I have this thing for Stitched in here, and it's a note-taking tool. It's early access, but you guys can sign up for it. And if you sign up for it and you use it, you can then give the developers feedback because they want to know if it works for you. Now, I have signed up for this thing. I think it's amazing because it's capable of doing a lot of stuff. So take a look at this. See if it's going to be useful to you, because I think that it will be useful to all of you. So I would recommend taking a look at it, seeing if you want to try it, and then giving some feedback to them about what your experiences were with it. Okay, so there is that. I think that's all we needed to talk about. I think the only other thing I'm going to tell you is this is an entirely online course. There is no need to come to campus. However, you can talk to me whenever you want. You want to make an appointment to talk to me, you can do that. If you want to just send me an email, you can do that. You want to call my office, you can do that. I'm available to you at any time. Well, okay, not necessarily any time. Middle of the night really doesn't work. But if you have a question in the middle of the night, there is something you can do. I have a ChatGPT tutor. So you can click this. This will take you to that tutor. And then you can ask it any questions you might have because it probably knows the answer. So if you try it and you don't get the answer, then you can reach out to me. But you may get the answer that you're looking for. A lot of the things that we talk about are in there. It is trained on the documentation within this course, nothing else. So if you do a search on the internet for how to do something or what how something works, you may get an answer that's way more complicated than what we do here. Yeah, it's for a different audience. So this is trained to be answered at the audience level that we're talking. One other thing I'm going to point out to you, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, after all of these, you'll see a whole bunch of useful user links. Tutor.com, ChatGPT. Tutor.com is available to any student at any time. It's free with your tuition. ChatGPT is a resource that you can use at any time. I don't recommend that you use it as a source to get answers to homework. That's not what it's for. What it's for is to help you understand things. And so if you don't understand, for instance, how we assign a charge to something, then you can ask ChatGPT, how do I do that? And if you ask that ChatGPT link that I gave you, it will answer to you in the way that I talk about that. Okay? But you can ask it outside of that and see what it says. There are also a bunch of videos here. So if you're having problems with understanding metric conversions, if you're having problems with the periodic table, these are all links that I have vetted, that we have looked at. We believe these are helpful and useful to you. A lot of them come from this guy named Tyler DeWitt. Now, Tyler DeWitt is just some random guy off the internet that I found when I was looking for something. His videos are amazing. And actually, I'm very jealous of some of the things that he's able to do in his videos that I cannot do in my lectures. So watching him talking about certain things can be very, very helpful to you. All right. How to write ionic formulas, how to name ionic compounds, all of these things in here come from him. So you may want to look at that. He's got an incredible way of explaining those things. Okay. I think that's everything. So I don't think there's anything else. So you can reach me via email, nanette.hartley@tridenttech.edu. You can reach me by phone. My number is 843-574-6699, which is in here. My office is in the 970 building. I'm on the third floor. It's 302L. It is a gated hallway, so if you want to come and see me, you have to dial my extension at the end of the hallway and I can let you in. You can come and see me at any time. So if you want to come to my office hours, that's fine. If it's outside of my office hours, it would be nice if you could make an appointment so I know you're coming, because I am occasionally not here. I do teach an actual in-person class, so I'm not always in this office. Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm teaching, so I'm generally not in the office. Sometimes I can answer emails if I'm in the lab. That's easier. But I think that's everything. All right, guys, I appreciate you. Have a good time in this class. If you need any help from me, oh, there is one more thing. Sorry. Let me just show you how this is set up. And when you open the exam things, you'll see a lot of stuff. Now, there is a significant figures thing here that you won't see on your schedule. This is considered to be information you should already have. Now you can review this to see if you do or you don't. That's fine. It's here for you in case you need it, but it is not an actual requirement. First thing that you need is the matter in units of measure. You'll find a couple of things under each of these. So this first one are my PowerPoints. So this is what I speak to when I'm talking in class. The second one is a recording. So these are on YouTube so that you can hear and see my lectures. You're not left without them. You then have a set of questions that I have come up with related to this topic. These are similar to or exactly the same as what you'll see on your test. And the answers for that are also provided. Okay? If you have questions about these answers, if they don't make sense to you, please feel free to reach out. Okay? But those are always available in here. That's in addition to your ALEKS homework. I tend to have questions that are more specific to what I would ask you on a test in here. So that can be helpful. The other thing in ALEKS, and I was going to show you ALEKS, you get to ALEKS by clicking on this link once you've signed up. So you can open ALEKS. Now, I can't open ALEKS as a student, so I won't be able to do that. There are other things that are in here too. All of your labs and your post labs have links within this. So you'll be able to click those links to go directly to your labs and post labs. Although apparently I haven't done this yet. So I can't go into ALEKS directly from here, but I can get into it a slightly different way, which you guys can't. Okay. I am not able to do it as a student. So that's just the nature of my beast. So I'm going to open an online section. When you come in, this is how it will look for you. There is an initial knowledge check that you will need to do. There is no grade for it. It's only about the math. So you'll need to do that. I can skip it. You can't. So So you'll see once you've done that there's this pie thing here. This thing is meant to be adaptive so that you answer the questions and it tells you what kinds of things you need to study and what kinds of things you don't. We find that it doesn't work very well for you guys. So we haven't used it in how we're setting things up. So if you hit continue and you come back out of this, what you will see is that this is here and it will say like continue your pie, that kind of thing. But what you actually want is to click right here. That will view your assignment list. So you can see your assignments right here. There's also the link to the textbook, which is right here. You can buy a physical copy of it if you want. Now, if you click your assignments, you will then see all of the assignments that are due. This is the start date. This is your due date. Okay, so that is the date that the grades come for you. Okay, so that is what you need to know. That's the date that the grade will go. You can open these up and this will show you matter in units of measure. You'll see that there are a number of questions, 15. You can have as many attempts as you want and when it will show you when it's due. Okay. Any due date that's not in ALEKS is written in stone. So if I made a mistake between what is in the syllabus and what is in ALEKS, you need to remind me, hey, there's a mistake. They don't match. And whatever date is later, that's what you get. So if it's in ALEKS and it's later, you get that no matter what. If it's on the syllabus as a later date than what's in ALEKS, I need to fix it. So yeah, that's everything. Okay, I know that's everything. So, all right, I appreciate it. I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Good luck.